iPhone 6 disassembly, screen replacement and repair. Below you can see the SIM removal pin in the iPhone toolkit required for disassembly, which is available to order from our site. If you are replacing a badly cracked screen, cover it in sticky tape before starting. First turn your phone off. Now remove the SIM tray by pushing your SIM removal tool into the hole circled below. If you don't have the SIM removal tool, use something like a paperclip. The SIM tray has now been removed. Next, remove the 2 pentalobe screws, circled below. Now attach a suction cup to the bottom of the screen, as shown below. If your screen is cracked, try and place the suction cup in an area which isn't damaged. But note that removal of the screens needs to start at the bottom end. Pull the suction cup up and you should lift the screen enough to allow you to get the edge of a plastic tool under the edge of the screen, as pictured below. Lever up both bottom corners of the screen, then run your plastic tool along both sides of the screen. Lift the screen up like below and note the metal shield which covers the cable that connects the battery to the circuit board, indicated below. Now remove the 2 screws, circled below, and lift the metal cover away. The 2 screws and the metal shield have been removed and you can now access the cable that connects the battery to the circuit board. The cable has a plug and socket press-fit type connection. Disconnect the cable by carefully levering it up, away from the circuit board. The cable from the battery has now been disconnected. Looking at the end of the phone, you'll see a metal cover held in place by 5 screws. Remove these screws and the metal cover, the ME shield. Make sure the screws go back in the same position they were removed from, as the screws are different sizes and can damage the circuit board if replaced in the wrong position. The ME shield has now been removed, as shown below. You now have access to 4 ribbon cables from the screen. Only 2 are visible at first. Each of these cables has a plug and socket-like connection, so lever each up, away from the circuit board. With the first 2 cables disconnected, you have access to the 3rd and 4th cable. Again, these have a plug and socket-like connection, so lever up, away from the circuit board. You can then lift the screen free. Below you can see the screen, separated from the rest of the phone. Now turn the screen over and remove all the screws you can see. Now carefully disconnect the cable from the home button. Again, this cable has a plug and socket-like connection, so lever up to disconnect. Be very careful not to damage the home button or cable, because although it is inexpensive to replace, the fingerprint recognition feature will not work with the replacement part and you will have a problem if you need to restore the phone. The cable from the home button has now been disconnected. You now need to remove the large metal plate from the back of the screen. Note that the area circled below will be stuck down with double-sided adhesive. So first use heat from a hot air gun or hairdryer to soften the adhesive, then lift the metal plate free. The metal plate has now been removed. Now return to the home button. To remove the home button, first apply some heat from a hot air gun or hairdryer to soften the adhesive holding the cable, indicated by the arrow, in place. Carefully peel the cable away from the back of the screen. If the cable is firmly stuck, use more heat until it comes away without force. Again, be very careful not to damage this cable. Once the cable is free, push the home button though from the front of the screen. If the part is stuck, apply more heat and carefully push the part free. Do not use force. The home button is now free. If your new screen does not come with the earpiece front-facing camera proximity sensor, then you'll need to remove them from your old screen. First lift the front-facing camera, indicated by arrow below, from right to left. You now have access to the earpiece, indicated by the arrow below, which can simply be lifted free. To detach the flex ribbon cable for the front-facing camera and proximity sensor, first apply some heat with a hot air gun or hairdryer for around 30 seconds, which will soften the adhesive holding it in place. The cable should now come away without force. If the part is stuck firmly, use more heat and a plastic tool to carefully lift the cable free. The earpiece, front-facing camera and proximity sensor are now free. Now simply reattach the parts to your new screen and reverse the whole reassembly. If you've found this disassembly guide useful, please support formimobile.co.uk and order the tools and parts you need from our site. We ship worldwide.